Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another wonderful episode of The Family Man. I am Grant Gisondo, your host, the owner of the law offices of Grant Gisondo, PA, a full-service family law firm located in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. Today, we have a very special guest with us, a Mr. Matt Brickman. Say hello, Matt.
Hey, Grant. How are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Matt is a mediator, a fully Supreme Court licensed mediator. Is going to be talking to us today all about our show, talking all about mediation. Matt, you are a licensed Supreme Court certified family mediator. Is that right?
Family is one of my certifications, Grant.
Okay, what other certifications do you have?
So I started out doing the county civil, and I actually started my career 11 years ago doing working in the courthouse. And so I was, as you had already mentioned, sometimes you go to the courthouse and you'd have a mediator there. That's actually where I started. So I cut my teeth, working in the courthouse. And when I started doing mediation, I did not want to just jump in and start dealing with people's families. It was a lot. It was very overwhelming. It felt like just an immense responsibility because, as it is, we're dealing with their retirements, their homes, their kids, all the things that they work so hard for. So I said, let me just, figure out this mediation thing on a small scale, under $5,000. You really can't screw up under $5,000. And so I started out with county civil, but I always wanted to do family. Family. When I decided I wanted to do mediation, I wanted to do family. So I started with county civil, and then then did family. Then I got certified doing dependency mediation. And then did appellate mediation. And then I got certified as a trainer. And then I wrote the curriculum for the family certification training. But I got so busy teaching or so busy doing that I haven't had time to teach. But it was a lot of fun. And family is really my passion because of how I got into it, my background and everything. And so, primarily what I do is family, but I've done everything from small business mergers, parent-teen conflicts, small claims disputes,
so
personal injury, slightly.
How many mediations do you think you've done in your career up to this point? Take a guess.
Well, let's see. I mean, I average somewhere just under about 300 a year.
Okay. And you've been doing this for how many years?
Almost 11 years.
Okay, that's a lot of mediation.
Yeah, it's a lot of mediations.
Okay, and this is your full-time job?
Full-time job.
This is all you do?
All I do. Don't do anything else,
Okay.
so...
and you specialize in family?
Specialize in family.
Okay. So what exactly... When you say you specialize in family, what exactly is a family law mediation as compared to, let's say, a civil or some other type of mediation? So what puts you in the family law realm?
Well, family law realm, we're either dealing with paternity issues or we're dealing – so, you may have a mom and dad that, got together, had a kid, never got married, and now, things aren't working out. So they've got to split ways, and we've got to do the same things that we would do in a divorce where we set up a time-sharing plan, we set up child support. We're just not dealing with their stuff. Right. If they purchase stuff together, they're going to civil court for that. We're not dealing with that in family court. So that would be a paternity. Otherwise, in family, we're dealing with a divorce case where two parties got married, and now we've got to deal with everything: alimony, child support, time sharing, equitable distribution, marital home, retirement accounts. I mean, the whole 9 yards. And sometimes there's more, sometimes there's less. You may get two people that they may have. Nothing. All we're doing is, okay, you're taking your debt, you're taking your assets, everybody's keeping their own stuff. We're just going to figure out time sharing and child support.
Right.
But they can get much more complex.
Folks, and one thing that's phenomenal about mediation here is that I've worked with Matt countless times, would you say? I mean, I don't think I could count the amount of times we've done mediation together in cases where we've brought Matt in.
I've been tracking it, but I don't have that with me.
Okay, good. Don't. I don't want to know. Yeah. And one of the things that Matt does so great is he's extremely creative on coming up with different ideas and different games to try to get people to see the light of day. And we're going to talk about those a little bit later in the show. I know we're still kind of just laying some groundwork here today. So obviously you can hear he's been doing this for 11 years, 300 mediations a year. I mean, when you think about that's 65 days off a year. So he's in mediation more than he's actually doing anything else. And as a full-time mediator, this is what he does. He's phenomenal. Now, Matt, you own your own company.
Yes.
What is the name of your company?
iMediate, Inc.
iMediate, Inc. And your website?
It's iChatMediation.com, or you can also go to iMediateinc.com, either one.
Okay. And if you're interested in hiring Matt to maybe talk to about setting up a mediation, or you want to hear a little bit more about his qualifications, or ask him a question with something that you're hearing on today's show, how would people get a hold of you?
The best way to get a hold of me is email.
Email? Okay, what's your email?
Email and text message. The those are the two fastest. So my email is mbrickman@ichatmediation.com. And, or you can text me on my cell phone, 561-262-9121.
Great. Okay, now, and a lot of you have my cell phone, so unlike Matt, please don't text me. Please call me. I want to hear your voices. Matt may be a little more new age than me where he wants text. I actually want to hear your voice. So if you're just tuning in, this is Grant Gisondo, the family man. We're talking to Mr. Matt Brickman today, the owner of iChat Mediation, telling us all about mediation. We got through a little bit about what mediation, how he became a mediator, his qualifications as a mediator. So now we're actually going to talk about what is mediation. So Matt, why don't you tell us what exactly is mediation? I gave a quick little brief overview of how it works, but do you actually have like a true-on definition of what a mediation is?
Yeah. So a mediation is a place where the two parties are in control, not their attorneys, not the mediator. The parties have an opportunity to take control of their case. So the general way that people work out a dispute is, say, for example, Grant, that you and your wife have a dispute. Well, the ideal situation is that you and your wife are going to discuss it and work it out amongst yourselves. But if you can't, the next level is you get a neutral third party to come in and maybe help you guys, facilitate that conversation and help you guys see maybe something from a different point of view, points, out the good points, the bad points, the highs, the lows, whatnot. If that still doesn't work, that's then when you can go to the next step and you get an advocate to go in front of a judge and then let, the highest authority then decide your life for you. But that's never a great idea to just submit all decision-making authority to a neutral person that doesn't really know the ins and outs, right? Because you're not going to get those details that they're going to need to a judge in half a day, even 3 days. You're not going to get all of that. But in mediation, that's where we're really concerned about what's in the party's best interest, because when dealing with families, as you know, are so unique. They're structured completely different. Every family is different. They have different values, different ways they operate, different priorities. And so when we're restructuring, it's really what we're doing. We're not tearing apart the family. We're restructuring it. So when we restructure the family, it's so unique that mediation is a place where they can take control and create whatever agreement they want. So my job as the mediator my primary job as a mediator is to empower them to make their own decision. Now that may mean that I tell them things they want to hear and things they don't want to hear, but they need to have as many pieces of the puzzle. So if they choose to come to an agreement, it's not an agreement that is all one side or the other. That's not mediation, that's manipulation. But it's an agreement that they can look at the end of the day and be like, I don't love this, but I don't hate it. But you know what? I can live with this. And if you can live with it, I'll let you sign it. If you tell me, hey, look, Matthew, I can't live with it, I won't even let you sign it, because that's not mediation. That's manipulation. And I'm not there just to get people to sign. I'm there to empower them. Now, again, I may tell them things that they don't want to hear, but my job is to empower them. That means that they need to have all the pieces of the puzzle, because I will never let anybody say, hey, I'm not going to decide this. I'm going to let a judge decide. Go to court. And as you well know, things go sideways in court.
Absolutely.
They always do. I always tell people the two guarantees I can give you is, number one, there is no guarantee, and number two, it's going to cost you money to get there.
It does.
And that's the guarantee going to court. And so, but what I don't want is, I don't want someone to go to court and something goes sideways and they're going, oh my gosh, why didn't somebody warn me? Why didn't somebody tell me that was an option? If I knew that was an option, I would have made a decision. That's my job. My job is to empower them, to get creative, to think way outside of the box. And many times people go, that's an option? I'm like, yeah, that's an option. You can do anything you want in mediation as long as there's not a law that says that what you want to do is illegal.
As long as it's legal. That's the whole thing. Folks, he said something that's really, really important there that I'm going to mention again, because it's probably the most important thing that we're going to talk about today, is that in mediation, you stay in control. The parties stay in control. And what that means is that husband and wife, mom and dad, you get to make the decision on how the day turns out. Once you go to trial or once you go to court, you are powerless. Whatever that judge orders for that day is what you're stuck with, like it or not. And a lot of times for these family law trials, you're only getting a half day, a full day, maybe 2 days. It's pretty rare that you get a family law trial that goes on for a week. So, judges don't really get to know you the way a mediator gets to know you. So the second probably biggest thing that he said there is the cost. Yes, you have to pay for your mediation. Yes, you have to pay for your attorney to attend mediation, but it's nothing compared to what it's going to cost you to go to trial. Remember that I always say that for every hour that you're in trial, you're probably looking anywhere from 2 to 4 hours of prep time. Whereas with mediation, for every hour you're in mediation, you're probably dealing with maybe 15 to 30 minutes of prep time. So the cost savings in mediation is phenomenal.
For more information about having your mediation conducted by iMediate, check us out online at iMediateinc.com. Email me at mbrickman@ichatmediation.com or call me toll-free at 877-822-1479 or direct at 561-262-9121. And I look forward to speaking with you and scheduling your mediation very soon.